So today, we're going to dive into a system that's all about changing how major projects handle their money. We're going to break down this big idea of engineering commercial certainty and see what it really means through the lens of a platform called CostOS. All right, let's jump right in.
You know, it all starts with this one big question that honestly haunts a lot of industries, especially construction and engineering. Why? Why, with all the incredible technology we have, do so many huge, complex projects still go way over budget and blow past their deadlines? This isn't just a small problem. It's a massive, fundamental issue that points to something being really broken in how we manage cost.
So, what's really going on here? What are the root causes? Well, it turns out it's not about people not trying hard enough. The problems are built into the system. First, you've got siloed cost data. Critical information is just locked away in different departments, sometimes in totally separate spreadsheets. Then there's no standardization for estimates, so you're never really comparing apples to apples. Traceability? Forget about it. Trying to track a design change back to what it costs is almost impossible. And all of this creates these disconnected workflows, these gaps where mistakes and risks just fall right through the cracks.
Okay, so to really get a handle on these challenges, you need more than just a fancier spreadsheet. You actually need a whole new way of thinking. It's about moving past seeing software as just a simple tool, a calculator, and starting to see it as an engine for intelligence.
And this is where we get to a really powerful idea, the commercial intelligence engine. Now, this goes way beyond just crunching numbers. Think of it as a system that's specifically designed to take all that messy, fragmented data from all over the place and transform it into structured insight. Basically, it's information that's clean, reliable, and ready for you to use to make those big, important decisions.
This really shows you the night and day difference in approach. The old way was all about being reactive. You're just producing numbers, working with fragmented data, and basically putting out fires as they pop up. The new philosophy is all about being proactive. You're actually engineering commercial certainty from the very beginning. How? By using a structured, connected system that lets you get ahead of problems instead of always playing catch-up.
Okay, so that's a pretty bold promise, right? How does a system like this actually deliver on creating certainty? Well, it's all built on what you can think of as 3 key pillars. These are the things that give you that incredible level of control. The first pillar here is all about flexibility. A smart system has to support both ways of estimating. You've got top-down, which is more conceptual, driven by benchmarks, perfect for those early-stage feasibility studies when you just need a ballpark. And then you have bottom-up, which is super detailed, based on every single resource. That's what you absolutely need for formal bids and for keeping tight control over costs during the project. It means you have the right tool for the right stage.
Now, building on that flexibility, the second pillar is being able to work with any kind of project data you throw at it. It doesn't matter if your information is coming from old-school 2D drawings, from incredibly rich 3D BIM models, or even from massive geospatial GIS datasets. The system can handle the quantity takeoff from all of them. This is huge because it means no data gets left behind. You get a truly complete picture. And this is what ties it all together. The third pillar is what we call structured cost intelligence. By using a central database and standard cost libraries, you finally break down those silos we talked about. This creates a single source of truth for everyone. And when you have that, your estimating process becomes repeatable, it becomes consistent, and, this is the big one, it becomes fully auditable.
Because you have that structure, something really cool happens. The estimate, it's not the end of the road anymore. In fact, it's just the beginning. It becomes the launch pad for a completely connected commercial workflow.
So let's walk through what that data lifecycle looks like in practice. It starts with creating your estimate, right? But then that same data flows without any retyping directly into your procurement system for RFQs. It can sync up with other platforms you're using. Then that original estimate becomes the baseline you use to track progress and handle monthly payments. And it all leads to reports that are generated from that one single source of truth. The result? No more mistakes from rekeying data, no more confusion from a dozen different spreadsheets.
So, what's the big takeaway? What's the ultimate payoff here? The transformation is huge. It's about finally moving beyond just spitting out numbers and getting to a place of real, actual commercial certainty. For the actual people using a system like this, the change is tangible. On a capability level, sure, they learn how to handle any data type. But what's more important is how their thinking changes. They start applying database principles, building reusable templates, and all of that leads to the ultimate goal, control. The confidence to manage suppliers, tweak project variables, and sync data without worrying that everything's going to fall apart. If you boil this entire philosophy down to one single sentence, it's probably this. Cost is no longer a report. Cost is a system. Just think about that for a second. It's not some static PDF you look at once a month. It becomes a living, breathing, dynamic part of your project's nervous system.
And that's really what I want to leave you with. Take a good hard look at your own company, your own processes and workflows, and ask yourself this really critical question. Is your cost just a report, or have you truly built it into a system? Finding the answer to that, well, that could change everything.